cartoon film, you could just rewrite the character. This just not making no sense to me, fam. This is not making no sense. It's really not, bro.
Oh,
We're in 2021, bro, and this is the shit we're starting our year off, bro. Canceling cartoons from Looney Tunes. I mean,
we live?
love.
We live. Welcome back to the Opinion Factory podcast, the podcast for free thinkers and challenge seekers.
Yes, sir.
I'm Khelil.
I'm Alex. And recently, man, it feels like we're going down this road of this conversation that we had about a year and a half ago. But everything's getting canceled again, man. You know, we got cartoons getting canceled. You know, Pepe Le Pew, the skunk.
Yeah, he got canceled.
Well, got canceled from Space Jam. You know, I mean, keep in mind
What did he do? What did Pepe Le Pew do?
He was a little aggressive with the ladies. I think he was like trying to fill up on a cat that he thought was a skunk and was all over her, whatever. But you got all these grown men and women from New York Times talking about it's promoting rape culture. You know,
You think that's true?
I mean, I never once as a kid thought like, oh man, the skunk in Space Jam is getting all the girls. Let me try to emulate that shit.
Yeah, maybe you didn't.
It just.
But do you feel like it affected?
No, wait, you did. You did.
I did not. That's very anecdotal.
Well, I
You know what I'm saying?
I could ask like 50. I bet I could ask like 100 kids, bro. None of them would ever try that. Oh, this worked in Space Jam. This worked in Looney Tunes. Let me try to do this shit.
Even if it was true, I don't think anybody would admit that though. Like I got my game from Pepe Le Pew. Like nobody's gonna say
Nobody got no game from a cartoon film. If you try to get girls in real life, you're not gonna imitate Looney Tunes Space Jam.
I mean, did he get the girls in those cartoons?
He never got the girl. He got his ass beat, or he got pushed away, shoved away every single time.
That would make it more compelling. Yeah, exactly. If it worked, that would be a more compelling case. But if he was getting rejected when he did that shit, I don't think anybody would see that and be like, let me do this too.
It didn't work. So it's like the only thing why I can say is promoting rape culture, if we're gonna, is that he just kept harassing the girl. Which I guess
right.
I mean
and he got rejected for it.
Yeah. You know it's a cartoon film. You could just rewrite the character. This just not making no sense to me, fam. This is not making no sense. It's really not, bro. We're in 2021, bro, and this is the shit we're starting our year off, bro. Canceling cartoons from Looney Tunes. I mean, we gotta have a talk ourselves, bro, because you over there not eating Aunt Jemima no more. I don't know what the hell kind of breakfast syrup you're using.
Oh, Aunt Jemima is not that healthy.
Oh,
there's a lot of healthier alternatives to Aunt Jemima.
That's why you stopped eating Aunt Jemima, bro. Be real with yourself. Is that why you stopped eating Aunt Jemima?
Hey man, I was looking at it's cheaper. I'm gonna say it's more economical for sure, but the calorie content, the sugar content, it's not for me. It's not for me and my family. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I might let that slide, bro. Well, it's just a list of all these canceled characters. We got Pepe Le Pew. We got Aunt Jemima. We got that dude off the Uncle Ben's, whatever. Jambalaya. What? Hey, bro, this is getting out of hand, fam. It's not doing nothing.
Just remind me real quick. What was the argument against Aunt Jemima?
Aunt Jemima was like, I think, I don't know. It was something like.
Was she like a stereotype, like the female?
Yeah, stereotype. Like I think she, bro. I couldn't even tell you. It's a fucking syrup logo. I can't tell you.
It's never that simple though,
bro. It's never that deep.
That's not.
It's never that deep, man.
That's not true,
bro. It's a syrup logo, bro. Even if it is promoting, which I didn't think, it just looked like a regular black lady on the syrup bottle.
Apparently, she looked like she was cooning.
How?
What does she look like again? She's plump. She's black. She's dark skinned. I think she had like a head wrap that they usually have in like slave movies for like the women slaves. I don't know about her origins like that. You know, I'm about to look this shit up right now, but I'm pretty sure she's supposed to be the type from those movies like back in the day that was always like, yes, massa.
It just seems like we're canceling people for the sake of canceling them, fam. Right? Lately, you got all these Gen Z dudes trying to cancel Eminem for his song lyrics, and Eminem was wildly out of pocket. Don't get that twisted.
I can understand real people.
Yeah,
I can understand real people, but when it comes to like cartoons, no, I was just saying that like with Eminem, like I would listen to an argument about that more readily. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, with Pepe Le Pew and shit like that.
I mean,
he's a cartoon. He's not gonna be like in his house in Hollywood, like, damn, they're about to cancel me. Let me tweet about this. Like, he's not something that should be canceled like that. He can just be reworked easily.
Fam, the shit we let slide in rap music, it's like it's just music at the end of the day now, right? Yeah, dudes like bragging about killing each other, getting all these women, all this type of stuff. So like Eminem did the same
issues with that, but yeah.
Eminem did the same type of shit, and now we like targeting him, bro.
I didn't even know Eminem was about to get canceled.
It just don't add up to me.
He's been talking about killing people and stuff like that.
Yeah, he be talking about like some drive around with my dead wife in the car and that type of
my pregnant girlfriend in the trunk. I'm about to drive off the bridge.
Yeah, that's some
type of stuff.
Some real crazy shit. But at the end of the day, we accepted his music. Trying to go back
and he's getting canceled now for what he did back then.
They're trying to cancel him. He's not going to get canceled, but they're trying to. Is the point I'm trying to make. And it's just.
You feel like it's only going too far when it goes when it's something that you agree with? Like, do you feel like anyone got canceled justifiably, or is everyone just getting the cut for no good reason?
Mel Gibson did. Mel Gibson was wild. Remember what Mel Gibson did?
I remember. I never saw it. I never heard it, but I know about it.
I feel like
talking about the Jews, right?
Yeah, I feel like he's actually like really anti-Semitic and shit. You know,
and that was like way before cancel culture. That was before it was a trend.
That was probably like I want to say like 10 years ago. He's back in some movies now, which is actually kind of ironic. But he left like some crazy voicemails, like fucking Jew there. I was like, bro.
But the fact that he's back is something that we spoke about too. Remember the first episode when I think it wasn't the cancel culture episode. I think it was the R. Kelly episode when I was like, Chris Brown had all his drama with Rihanna. He was supposed to get canceled, but then after a while, nobody's talking about that no more. Probably just because there's a lot of time between now and when it happened, and maybe R. Kelly can come back when there's a lot of time. And same thing with Elvis and all those other musicians that were like pieces of shit. Give it time, and they can like get listened to like normal again.
Which is true. I just feel like this is culture wars, bro. And I'm really tired of this shit, man.
Culture wars?
Yeah, I'm really just tired of it, bro. You know, like for example, that chick from Star Wars, Gina Carano, something like that. She got fired off Mandalorian for saying being a conservative in Hollywood is like being a Jew during Hitler or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is probably like the dumbest analogy you could ever make up. You know, no one's putting you in camps and killing you and shit. But outside of the stupidity of
outside of the neo-Nazis who I can see what she drew. I can see why she would make that leap. It's a leap. But I can see like what ground she jumped from. It was neo-Nazis supporting President Trump marching in America, like real life America. They were neo-Nazis marching.
She's saying being a conservative or Trump supporter is like being a Jew.
Right. And they were marching for Trump. So I'm not saying it's the same, but I can see why. I can see where the gears were turning for her to make that leap.
But the neo-Nazis would be on her side, fam.
What do you mean?
They're Trump supporters. They were on the right side of the aisle.
Right. And she's saying that Trump supporters are like Nazis because the neo-Nazis were Trump supporters.
She's saying they're like the Jews, bro.
She's saying they were the Jews?
Yes, that's the way I said.
No, I thought she said, no, that's not what I heard.
Look it up. She posted a meme that being conservative in Hollywood is like being a Jew.
Being a Jew?
Yes.
I thought she said being a Nazi.
No, bro. No. Why would she call herself a Nazi?
Because that's what I was. No, bro. I didn't know she was agreeing with him. I thought she was like dissing him.
Look it up, bro. Look it up right now.
I did look it up. I read it. I guess I misread it.
Oh, bro. You know, I don't know if I would have fired her, but I just think it's mad stupid. Outrageously stupid. But do we fire people for being outrageously stupid now? I don't know. I don't know. It's a really stupid comment to make, and I'm kind of in between something that's been kind of important. People get canceled, but there's also a theme of accountability that's kind of being pushed forward here, right? You want people to get canceled. Oh, I don't really care about people getting canceled. But the idea behind these people getting canceled is to hold people accountable and to keep up with the standards of today.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that's. I hope that's the goal.
That is the goal. But going back like 15 years, and James Gunn said this weird ass tweet about Little Boy, which was crazy wild, by the way. But he said this terrible pedophilia joke, and it's from 2006. Let's go cancel. Like, that shit don't make no sense, bro. It doesn't make sense.
Was keeping up with the times at that time, and now he's keeping up with the times.
I don't think he was keeping up with the times back then. I just think he was like
but back then, maybe jokes like that, jokes like that were acceptable back then. Back then, you could say retard. Back then, cartoons were like showing like some crazy shit.
I mean, you can remember the Kevin Hart joint when he made that joke about like his son being gay or whatever, and that he wouldn't fuck with it.
Yeah,
he made some type of joke, and then
I remember
the Oscars made him he tried to make him apologize like in 2018.
Wasn't that like, bro? Just as a straight man, he would want his son to be straight. That's just what he wants.
He put a joke in there. I forgot. Nah, there was a joke in there, but I forgot what the joke was, bro.
Right.
Nah, there was a joke in there.
I thought that was it because I'm like, why is everyone to say that?
But regardless, man, my whole thing with this cancel culture shit is like, it's not really doing nothing, fam. Like, you try to hold people accountable to their actions, but the way you're going about it is not accomplishing anything. Especially when it's over very little shit. Like, here's the thing that we got into a conversation about this past week. Disney Plus was moving their classic Walt Disney cartoons off the kids sections, right? They took Peter Pan off, they took Dumbo off, and they took Aristocats off, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'll admit I had some bias going in with Aristocats because Aristocats is one of my favorite movies. I love cats. It's one of my favorite movies that everybody wants to be a cat. It's one of the best cartoon songs you'll ever find in a movie. It's a song in a movie in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had great music in that movie, right? I watched the movie like at least 10 times, man. At least 10 times,
mm-hmm.
Right? And I'm like, why is this chicken taking off the kids section? I'm like, it didn't make no sense to me. And then I think you and another person like trying to talk about that the Asian stereotypes that I never peeped in the movie.
Yeah, was the cat's name Shang something?
Bro, the character is so minor that I never paid attention to it, fam. And then there was like a part. So somebody put a GIF in there, and the GIF was like, I'm trying to like see what was offensive, and then they said like, oh, the old stereotypes of Asians was they're stupid, and I forgot they got the slanted eyes and shit, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like watching this shit. I'm like, oh damn, I didn't peep. I'm trying to see what's going on because I'm not aware of those old stereotypes. I watched the video, and I'm not saying it's wrong because it's only in it, but the shit was in there for 0.5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bro, like out of a 130-minute movie, there would be no way you pick up. It's like one of those like subtle hidden messages, but then like 5 seconds later, the dude's like talking with like chopsticks, egg foo young da da. I was like, all right, nah. like dudes think I'm exaggerating, bro. This was like egg foo young child. So I was like, all right, bro, come on. Now you're forcing.
So the Asian cat that had all the stereotypes.
Yeah, and I didn't even know
that we put in was only in the movie for like 0.5 seconds, but then he started talking.
Yes, when he started talking. And here's my thing, right? I'm not a big fan of taking shit out of movies or old shows, right? Mm-hmm. But if you're gonna do this, and it is a kids movie at the end of the day, if we're gonna do this, why not just either put a content warning before and keep it in the kids sections, or just take out the OD racist part? Because that, bro, the
content warning before.
Yeah, but they also moved out the kids section. The character is such a minor character in the movie film. Like, he probably has like 5 minutes of airtime, and 4 minutes and 50 seconds of those is just him being in the background, not talking. Right? He had a part where he was just playing the drums and piano, I think, and then which was normal. You would never pick up on shit. And then he had that part where he put the hat with the GIF. And then the part where he's like egg foo young child, some stupid shit.
But if I can make an argument for this, right? Yeah. It's the same one that I was gonna make for the Aunt Jemima one, which I couldn't really find anything. I think Quaker said that she portrayed the stereotypes, and so that's why they want to make a more progressive image, not because she was offensive, but because she could be more progressive. That's what I could find. But when you said that it's just a symbol, or that this guy is such a minor character, it's true, but because of that, because it's a minor character, because it's such a symbol, and still like overtly racist, when it comes to kids and people who haven't really been exposed to those cultures, even that subtle image or that subtle character being overtly racist is going to normalize in their mind what that person is supposed to be like.
But here's what I argue, Finn. You're watching I'm not arguing that it's racist or not, but here's my argument.
Yeah, I know.
This thing, it was so small. There was a part that was extended, but literally the part in the movie is so insignificant. I do not think as a kid, out of a 120-minute movie, you're going to pick up on the literally 0.5 seconds in the movie. I just don't see that happening.
But you know that as an adult, we don't pick up on the same things that we did as kids, and as kids,
no, I get that. But fam, I'm telling you, as a kid, it's the same thing as the Pepe Le Pew thing. You didn't pick up on like, oh, let me get some game from a skunk. You're literally just watching this shit to enjoy it, fam. So I don't think while you're watching this shit, the movie, you're gonna pick up on this 0.5 seconds of this cat that's supposed to be Asian.
I mean, you're gonna make say that though.
Are you gonna make all the connections as a kid? You're 5, 7, 10 years old. You're gonna make all the connections. That cat's supposed to be Asian, right? So that's already a jump right there. You have to assume that cat is.
I think he's obviously Asian. The name's Asian.
Bro, the part I'm talking about. There's no name. They just put on the hat. He just put on the hat and drooling, bro. That's the part I'm talking about.
All right.
Put him on the hat and he drools for 0.5 seconds. You think a kid's gonna pick up on that cat is Asian and that he's supposed to be an Asian stereotype? Bro, I do not see that happen. Especially if they have no, like you said, they have no exposure to this.
They don't.
They're not gonna see that. Oh, this cat is supposed to be an Asian guy. Do not see that happening, and I also do not see them picking up on this thing that's in the movie for 0.5 seconds. Don't see
so that. First of all, for that last point, I do see them picking up on that. To be honest with you,
bro,
the kids are impressionable, and the stupidest things jump out to them.
The movie
is lost over that, like is 0.5 seconds is nothing.
The movie is 115 minutes long.
I get it. But for that 115 minutes, what do you think the kids are paying? They're looking for like the extreme, over the top, cartoonish, exaggerated shit. And what he did,
and there's so many more moments that are more significant, that take up more airtime, that they will pick up on. They're not going to pick up on. The song is outlandish itself, but they're not going to pick up on that. There's no way.
If it wasn't, bro. If it was completely insignificant, they would not have included it in the movie. Somebody took the time to draw that, to animate that, to color that, to put it in production, to edit it, all that stuff.
And then
they knew what they were doing.
They further went on to give 15 more seconds or 10 more seconds where the dude was like talking broken English and all that. And like saying egg food chow, you know, like that take out, bro. That the kid will pick up on. The other stuff, you're not gonna see. Oh, a dude put on a hat. That's supposed to be an Asian guy.
You're seeing that though. Bro, come on.
How's a kid gonna make that analogy, fam?
The kid is not gonna understand it the way that we understand it.
No, but that's
what I'm saying. They're still gonna have that image in their head. And so now when they develop and they learn about Asian people and Asian culture, that's gonna be the reference that they have.
I don't see it.
That's gonna be their frame of reference.
I don't
like
see it.
I remember, Asian, like that cat from Aristocats with the funny hat and shit. And I remember that guy.
No,
that man was stupid. That's Asians are stupid.
That's not happening, bro.
You don't know that.
That's not fair. That is not happening, bro. That's not happening.
If they were not trying to perpetuate the stereotype of Asian people, they would not have included something like that in the movie.
I understand that, fam.
And that character
did. But there's
Asian. What about the Asian kids? The Asian kids watching Disney Plus. You don't think they're gonna recognize that they're making fun of me?
Well, the Asian kids pick up on this, fam. This is what I'm talking about.
Especially when they see elements of their own culture, they will pick up on that much easier.
You know, I can't argue for the Asian, right? I'm not going to argue for that, right? But if that joint's in the movie for 0.5 seconds, I do not see kids picking up on this. I don't see that because that's if it's their culture, that stereotype wouldn't be like if you're Asian kid in America or Asian kid in China or Asian kid in Thailand. Like I don't know. I don't know if they'll pick up, but I really doubt that a kid's gonna pick up on something that small in a movie that long.
Yes.
That was on the screen for.
I get what you're saying, but we can't be sure.
We can't. So that's why you put a content warning. But taking out the kids section over, you gotta take something out the kids section for something that's in the movie for 0.5 seconds.
You think kids are gonna care about content warnings?
No, it's not.
All right, what I'm about to see is racist, but I need to understand that in 1996 that was acceptable, but today that's nothing. So when I see it, I should appreciate it for what it used to be and recognize that I should not be. No kid's gonna do that.
Bro. All right, so that's a good. All right, so no kid's gonna do that, but they're gonna pick up on the 0.5 seconds.
Yes, yes, because
I'm also happy that you brought up this point of the content. So if no kid's gonna book the content one, what's the point of even putting it there in the first place?
Isn't that why they removed it from the kids section altogether? Because the content one wasn't really that effective?
The reason I saw why they moved these movies, like Peter Pan, it was more obvious to me because they had a more significant time. They were off to kill the engines and all the type of stuff, like calling them racial slurs and that type of stuff.
Damn.
The Dumbo with the crows, I see that. It was like there supposed to be like dumb black characters. I get that, and they were in the movie for a more significant part of time, so it's easier to pick up on it. But the reason I'm arguing against the Aristocats thing is not that I might be biased. I probably am biased. But the reason I'm arguing against that is because it's in the there. No, there's two parts, right? There's a part where he's putting on a hat, and there's a part where he's talking broken English and all that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. If they take that part out the movie, then I don't think there's a need for a content warning, or you can put the content warning in, and just leave it in the kids section. Mm-hmm. But taking it all together just doesn't.
I can understand that. I can understand.
Really, it seems like a lot of work for something that's like such a small percentage of kids will pick up on if they do, which I don't think they will. But I'm like, fam, you are not telling me that 95% of kids that watch this movie are picking up on that. I don't see that, especially if it's in there for 0.5 seconds. It's not happening.
Yeah. So two things. So I can get behind the idea of just removing that part because it wouldn't really break the flow of the movie. He doesn't really contribute to the plot.
Right. It's literally like in the song and he starts talking. Like you don't need that part.
They could have just. But then Disney had that message before. This is what I'm thinking is the content warning that they had, where they said, we don't want to remove these parts from the movies because to remove them is to pretend like those stereotypes never existed.
Different. That content one was from Warner Brothers and like.
Was that Warner? I thought that was
this guy. They were one that content one for like Tom and Jerry stuff. You know how
right, and which I think makes sense. To remove it is to pretend like those stereotypes never existed. Asian people were never portrayed this way, and they were never being intentionally offended.
Yes,
and I think it's disingenuous to them.
And then you know why I did not understand the stereotype too? It's because Asians have the exact opposite stereotype now too. So that's why I'm saying it'll be even harder for a kid nowadays watching this movie. Will be like, okay, even if that was supposed to be me, if you do pick up on, like that's what I'm saying. The stereotype is completely so far removed.
That's interesting.
And it's so far the opposite way that the stereotype is that Asians are elite at math in school.
Yeah.
It's like you're gonna pick up on this character is supposed to be a representation of me. When I get stereotyped the opposite way.
Still offensive though. Yeah.
I'm not debating the offensiveness of this.
Right.
I'm not debating that.
And because of that gives it reason for it to be either removed or addressed in some way.
I'm just saying content warning, leave it in the kids section, take out the overtly racist part on. Ben, you have a content warning for the stereotypes that's just in there for 0.5 seconds. You take out the racist part, bang. It just seems like, fam, when dudes from future generations come down here, they're gonna look back at us and some shit's not gonna slide. Like it's even going on with the Chappelle Show right now. A lot of these jokes and all this type of stuff, people aren't happy with it, uncomfortable with, whatever. And then be like, nah, this shit shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the things that we were saying about trans people, like maybe sometime in the future, calling people trans will be a slur. And then we could look back at all the people who said the word trans and now they're getting canceled for it because they said it in 2021.
It could be, but look,
it's possible.
There's an even easier one for me to go down. Back in elementary school or middle school, you was like when something was corny, you just say it's gay.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
dudes don't say that no more, right? If that's like the what cancel culture is trying to get, like that's what they're trying to get. I can kind of approve that. But when I saw that, there was like, hey, how'd you get people to stop saying this? You make commercials and be like, oh, don't do this. It's offensive to these type of people, right? And I think everyone can understand why. You know, or as you get older, you understand why. Maybe as you're younger, you know, you
when you're younger, you don't care.
Yeah, you just be like, oh, that's gay, whatever. Like,
which is why I'm really surprised that campaign worked. I didn't believe in that campaign, to be honest with you. When Hillary Duff came on the commercial, like, yo, don't say that. I'm like, I get it, but these kids they will not care. But then it worked.
The one I remember was that Grant Hill basketball run, so maybe that's why it resonated more with me. I was like Grant Hill was like, nah, he's like, don't say that. It's like I was like, whatever. It's not that big a deal in the grand scheme of life, you know. But it just seems like, hey, you said something wrong, or you did some shit wrong in your past. I'm fine. I'm gonna find out what this shit is. I'm gonna try to hold you accountable. Like you can never expand or grow from that one moment in time.
Especially if what you said back then was acceptable back then. Like that's the part that I don't like. You know what I mean? Like saying like if you find a tweet of a star saying like this was fucking retarded, like back in 2005.
All right, but let me reverse this for you too. I do agree with that, but let me reverse this to you then. Let me put this in a different lens for you. So, if you were in 1791,
the slavery thing,
yeah, it's acceptable to own slaves.
I get it.
Can I come back here from 2020 and be like, yo, you're a piece of shit? When it was acceptable, it was a normal thing in your time, but that was the accepted normal thing in your time.
Yes, but let me. I'm thinking about this right now. If somebody from 1771 somehow lived to 2021, and back in 1771 they were fucking around having slaves, beating the shit out of black people, and as time went on, they let go of that and they became just a normal person of our day and age today. They're not racist. They look at black people equally. They don't believe in slavery anymore. All that stuff. They're at every point in time, they were products of their time, right? I would not go back to 1771 and say, yo, you own slaves. I will no longer listen to anything that you do or that you say. I will no longer pay attention to anything that you do. You're canceled forever and ever and ever, no matter how much you've developed as a person over the years. I personally don't see it in myself doing that, to be honest with you.
Fair. But that's the point I'm trying to make, though. If we put this on a different lens.
But that's what's happening with people today. They back then in 2001, they were saying retarded, they were saying gay, they were making pedophile jokes, they were making all these harassment jokes that in pop culture was acceptable, even though it was offensive to those groups. It was acceptable, but it was offensive. But in pop culture, it was acceptable. Like that's what people were just doing, and they were trying to be and do what people were doing. And then as that changed, they still continued doing what people were doing, but now they're being held accountable for what the times used to be. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's where it kind of goes too far. Like I understand if they apologize, they say that they've changed and they've demonstrated that they've changed. Like some of these directors, some of these comedians. But if dudes never change, then that's an easy case. You know what I mean?
So can dudes say that with the slavery thing though? Like you said, you wouldn't forgive that dude or whatever, right?
I wouldn't forgive him.
Yeah, did you say that?
No, I'm saying I wouldn't cancel him if he has demonstrated that over the years he has kept up with the times and let go of that ideology and of those ways. I wouldn't come at him like you need to be canceled forever and ever because you did this back when it was okay to do. Back when that was what you were taught was okay to do.
All right, that's very valid. That's very valid. I can't complain about that then.
But if dude never changed, but he was like low key just like an elected official, I don't know much about his past, and then I dig this up, and I can't see that he's changed or like he's changed his ways at all. Cancel this man. Like I get that.
You know what? You know what my problem is with this thing, man? I'm just exhausted with it, man. I'm exhausted with it. I'm exhausted with people feeling like they gotta walk on eggshells to talk to people without offending somebody. It's just not. It's just not.
That recently.
It's not real life, man.
We almost got canceled, didn't we?
Oh yeah, man. Like you can't even have a conversation now without being this or this, like racist or homophobic. Like it's exhausting, bro. Or misogynist. Like it's
there's so many
exhausting.
new terms, new rules, and it's almost impossible to keep up with it if you're not an active member in every disenfranchised community. You know what I mean?
Like the one of the wildest terms I heard recently was fat phobic, and it's just starting to y'all just getting out of pocket. Y'all going too far.
Are we afraid of fat people?
Y'all are going too far.
Well, one of the strangest terms I've heard recently actually was super straight. We got a term for men who like women now. There's a term for that now, and they're called super straight.
Why is it super?
I couldn't tell you.
Actually, you know what?
And maybe we should ask. I don't know why we need a term for that.
I think I got this graphic, man. I actually think I have this graphic. Let me see if I can find this graphic because I'm trying to see what the hell is super straight. Super
straight is when is a cis man who is attracted to cis women, or a cis woman who's attracted to a cis man.
Isn't that just straight?
I guess it's because
I don't know what's going on, bro.
Here's what I think it could stem from. It's from all those guys who said, I would not date a trans woman because I'm straight.
Which makes you transphobic?
I guess. And if you're not transphobic, then you're super straight. There's no such thing as straight no more.
Got it. I found the graphic here. The term was to describe cisgender people are only attracted to other cisgender people. Mm-hmm. So originates from TikTok. Don't know that. Don't really care about TikTok too much. The pride flag for the trans. Is it trans? Oh, so here's where the conversation. Here's where this term comes from. Was the idea that it's transphobic to refuse to date trans people?
Yeah, that's what. All right. I was all right.
Like
that's what I was thinking.
And I'm not even gonna go down this graphic. It's just the mental gymnastics of the things that we're doing now. You know, it's a label to do something. It's a label to think some type of way. Yeah. This is what it's exhausting. You know, it's just these cultures. Like you want to have a conversation, or if you want to do something, if you don't date Asian women, bro, are you racist?
That's a conversation I want to have. That's
like I don't
deeper than
I don't understand this. I don't understand. The answer is no.
Prejudiced.
The answer is no. By the way,
the answer is you're prejudiced. That's a prejudice.
The answer is you got your own damn preferences. Date who you want, and everything's cool.
There's gonna be an episode about this.
There's no need for an episode about this. It's very simple.
It's not.
If you date X person, there's a multitude of reasons why you're doing this, right? If you don't date X person, there's probably a multitude of reasons why you're doing this. It's really that simple. It's that simple, fam.
Disqualify a whole group of people over something that they do not control, such as their race. You are prejudiced. You're saying you are not worthy of dating me because of where you were born. That's like saying you are not worthy of working in this company.
It's not because dating.
You're saying that all these you're less than all these other races.
You turned it into less than
prejudice. Sir.
You turned it into less than. I never turned it into less than, sir.
That's what's implied.
No, you took that implication. You took that mind. You placed that implication on yourself, sir.
It's not.
You placed that implication on yourself,
bro. If
I say I'm only dating this type of woman, there's a multitude of reasons for me dating this type of woman.
Example. We're kids again. We're playing dodgeball. Yep. The coach said, Alex, Khelil, pick who you want on your team. The last person who gets picked, or the person who gets picked at all, are you saying that they're less than the other people or not?
Bro, are you saying the other people are better than them or not? We're not talking about sports, fam.
We're not, but just answer that question.
It's not. No, you can't do that.
But just,
you can't do that. It's not the same.
Just real quick.
It's not the same.
Just real quick, bro.
I'm not going to answer because it's not the same. I'm not going to do it. It's not the same.
If you refuse to pick somebody.
If you get picked last, that's because you are literally not as athletic as the other people. That's
so
it, right?
In that regard, you're less than. So in that regard, you're less than.
As a sports player, not as a person.
So
Not as a person.
So let's go to people now. Let's go to people now. Alex, Khelil, pick who you would like to date. You have these range of races. If we pick you, not definitely not you, but you, and you, what are you saying? These other people
who's to say I even have this range?
Are more valuable. They're better
than
this person I'm not picking.
Who's to say I only have this range? If I only date X person, that's not a prejudice to all other people.
Except I don't date X.
Or if I don't date this person, right?
I don't want to.
Again,
I don't want to turn this into that.
You're using the same logic as the people you complain against. I'm just putting this out there right now.
We're gonna talk about it.
You're using the same logic as the people you were just complaining about.
We're gonna talk about it.
So maybe you are transphobic. You're using that same logic. Sir. Using the exact same logic. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right, no, don't tell me yet.
That's all I'm gonna say.
We'll put in an episode. All right, we'll talk about it.
That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say, man. We'll save it for another episode, man. Nonetheless, it's not even my question. My question I got to ask will there ever be a balance between cancel culture and accountability? Right? Is there a healthy way to go about what people are trying to achieve with this canceling people and getting them fired from their jobs and whatever? Will there ever be a balance between that and holding people accountable? I don't know, because this is why I need a better balance right now than what I got.
So right now, people seem a little bit trigger happy to you.
Very trigger happy. Down to label people this, saying you're this, get fired from this, old tweet that. No,
it's not just about what you do; it's about what you don't do, which is a slippery slope. I feel like, and we got to be careful with that.
Exactly.
But yeah, let us know what you think. If you're on YouTube, comment down below. If you're on Apple, make sure you leave a review. Let us know if you enjoyed the episode. Opinion Factory Podcast. You can find us Apple, Stitcher, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. If you're on YouTube, make sure you hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more. And we will see you guys
next week.